Hi, this is Tracey from Gift Basket Appeal, and today I'm going to be answering a question. The question was, how do you use the clear stamps with the acrylic blocks? So let's get started. Okay, so if you're a beginning stamper, a lot of times when you get your clear stamps, you're going to need an acrylic block to mount it on. So the stamps will come in a case like this, packaged real nicely. This is the Made It stamp sets, my favorites. And so it'll come in a packaging like this, and you can just pull it out. And I'm going to show you what it's encased in. Okay. Okay, I like to keep it in its original packaging. It's just easier for me to find, and I can see the name and the brand on it. And so if you look at this, it has this nice covering on it, and you can peel off the back and get whichever stamp you choose. You're going to have some small, medium, and large stamps. Okay, and so let me just pull off this flower. And it's really very flexible, and all you have to do is mount it on your block. So now if I was to try to mount it on this block, it would be too big. So I would need to go to this block. And these blocks, this particular blocks that I have are from Recollections, and I've had them for a while. I just recently purchased a larger block for some of the larger stamping. I started out, when I first started doing card making, I started out with just these smaller ones. So I bought these particular ones, and some of them came in a set. I'm not sure how many were in each set, but I know I bought possibly 2 separate purchases of those. Okay, so like this block right here, the nice thing is it has a grid on it. And the grid helps you to line it up. So all I would do is take my stamp, put it on my grid. And you want to keep the stamp clean. You don't want to like have it somewhere where there's going to be a lot of dust that you can pick up, because you want a really good stamp or a good impression. You'll also need some ink. I'm going to just use this, demonstrate with Memento ink. There's a lot of different inks out there. That's a whole nother tutorial. And I just have a few inks. I don't have a whole lot, but I have enough to get the job done. Okay, so once you have your ink, you're just going to take your stamp, and this is what helps you to press into the ink and press it onto your paper. So in order to use these clear stamps, you have to have an acrylic block. Okay, you want to make sure it's inked up pretty good. And then I'm going to use some paper, and this is cardstock. And the cardstock allows you to make your cards, or you can cut them out and color them. And then you just press it onto the paper, and there you go. Okay, so that's how you do that. I'm just going to do another one. Press it into your ink. And the only way to get familiar with doing this, at first when I started, I remember I was kind of uncomfortable doing it. The only way to do it is to keep practicing. And if you mess up, it's okay. Now to clean the block, that was one of the other questions. I just use baby wipes. There are cleaners that are that you could use just for cleaning your blocks, but for now, the baby wipes work for me. I'm sure there are other people use different things, but you just find out what works for you. I think there is a special cleaner out there for blocks. Okay, and then you just let that dry. And I like to put mine, once it's dry, I like to put it back in the packaging, because I have lost some of my little stamps sometimes and have to go back and find it. So I like to put them back inside of my packaging. But for now, let me show you another one. Let's see. The nice thing about having the clear stamps is that you can actually see where exactly you're going to stamp. So let me show it if I want to add a leaf to this. So I'll pull out one of these and I'm going to use this block right here because it fits. This one, of course, will be too small. You see how little that is? That's for some of the more the really tiny stuff. Let's see. Yeah, like you can actually, there's some really tiny images on here. You see that? It looks like kind of like a hashtag. I don't know if you can see that. Let me show you. You would use those really little blocks on there. See that? That really tiny one. So you can use that little tiny block for that. But for this one, that's why it's good to have these in different sizes. I'm going to just kind of load it up at an angle here because that's how I want my leaf to be when I put it on there. I'm going to turn that over, ink that up. And so now when I want to add a leaf to this, possibly, I can see exactly where I want to stamp through the paper. So if I line it up right here, I can stamp right there. And I can line it up to how I want it to look, like really close to my flower. So I can actually see. With the other stamps, it's hard to see where you're going to position it to get it to go where you want. That's the beauty of the clear stamps. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and wipe this off. And so I just like to keep it inside of the packaging because it's just easier for me to see. Now I'm going to show you something else you can do is you can load up messages on here. Let's see. This one says, just a note to say hi. Okay, so if I put this on here, now if you notice, let me show you this. I'm just lining it up on my grid here. Just pressing it on, and it clings to it really good. Just a note. And then to say, and of course it's backwards because when you flip it over, it's going to be the other way. Just a note to say, thinking of you. Yeah, so you can really stack these up. If you're not comfortable doing that, then just take each one and line it up and do it that way. I usually take each one and kind of add to it because you might not want it all in one spot. You might want it kind of spread out through your page. So you can just use one sentiment and then put another one somewhere else. It's just up to you. So this is not lined up very well. So I'm going to line it up just like that. And then just a note to say, thinking of you. Okay, and I don't have any room to stamp on this, so let's get another piece of paper here. So I hope this is helpful to you. I know when I was beginning stamping, I watched a whole lot of videos just because. And see, this I can use in the future. I like to stamp out a lot of my sentiments in advance. Now, before I stamp this on here, there's a little bit of ink that came on the side here. And if you start tilting this, it'll get ink spots on your stuff. So, okay, let's start that over. Stamp on this side. Okay, I think I got enough on there. So I've had that happen before. Okay, so you just want to press firmly on there. And you don't want the block to tilt on either side. And so I'm going to lift it up. And look how gorgeous that looks. Just a note to say, thinking of you. So I really hope that that's helping you. Don't let this stamping stuff intimidate you. If you have just one block and one stamp set, work with what you have and just build your collection. I think you get tempted to want to buy everything at one time. Get some inks that you like and just start doing it. And so I hope this was helpful to you. Make sure that you watch a bunch of videos just to get comfortable doing it. And you don't have to know everything or get every supply. Just start with what you have. Look at a few videos, but the best way to do something is to practice. And just like I'm doing here, once these are dry, I'm putting them right back where I got them from, because I know I can actually end up losing some of these. I've had that happen. So I hope this was helpful to you. Leave me a comment below. This is just for beginning stampers. Everyone has their way of doing things and organizing their stamps. And I will see you real soon. Bye.